Hey there, hi there. Hey, it's your girl, Richelle Shaw. And let's have some fun today, right? On today's show, um, ever seen the movie Baby Boom? Or how about the FU in the $1 million equation? And then, of course, my message for Devin. All right, see you in a minute.
Welcome to the $1 Million Equation Podcast, a podcast about the easiest, fastest way to build $1 million business based on the best-selling book, The $1 Million Equation. If you love business, each episode reveals all of the core fundamental essentials for growth. Now, here's your host, Richelle Shaw.
Hey, and we're back. Hey, so welcome back to this episode. It's always fun to get you to share some time with you. So now that I am getting older, right? When I first started, in my brain, I still think that I'm the young one in the room. And it's like shocking that now I'm the oldest one in the room. Crazy. I guess when I see some of the gray hair, I have to just accept that. But what that has done is that I've got tons of wisdom, tons of things that is happening. So a funny story is I was watching what is it called? And Just Like That, right? Which is the reboot of Sex and the City. So we used to watch Sex and the City forever, right? I've seen so many episodes and we would laugh on Monday morning about, did you see what happened? And I'm watching like the resurgence of it, and I don't like that they're the same age as me. I don't know. I'd rather watch the old ones and go, oh, those shoes are so cute, even though as I sit back in my sensible shoes and my sensible flip-flops, when I watch her in the Manolo Blahniks going, oh, God, those are cute. And I'm like, ooh, but oh my God, I know they hurt. So I was always thinking about my favorite actress, and one of them is Diane Keaton, right? And so she's always played someone, she's had lots of gray hair sometimes, and she's always just embraced her age and not really been crazy about it. So I'm trying to learn from her. But one of my favorite movies was Baby Boom. And over the last couple of weeks, of course, with the resurgence of me coming back and doing this podcast, of having clients again, of working on different businesses, I'm getting tons and tons of offers, right? And the offers are different now. Of course, when 20 years ago, the offers were, well, hey, can you help my startup? And now they are, can you help me add another million? Yeah. So that's always exciting, right? It's always lots of fun too, because you see like the shift and they have the whole team in place and they have a lot, but my true heart will always be with entrepreneurs, right? Will always be with the little guy who is fighting back, because quite frankly, I didn't have people on my team. I didn't have people who were there for me 30 years ago, who were like, yeah, hey, let me help you do this. Let me tell you the best way to kind of switch this around. I didn't have that. So that's what I hope this podcast does for y'all, and helps you move that business further. But before I get to that, I did want to tell you this really quick story. So had somebody reach out, and they're like, yeah, I know that your podcast is just starting, and that we have a really big following currently, and we've got all of these, over 500,000, depending on platforms, and we'd really like to have you come and work with us, right? And help us get that extra 3 million this year. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds like fun. Send over the agreement. Let's take a look at it. Okay. And so the agreement wasn't anything that, it just didn't make sense, right? But I think I looked at it at first as to, wow, okay, so this podcast, my goal is to impact more. So this podcast could be everywhere very, very quickly, right? The people who will like it, will love it, right? And it's, I know it's not for everybody, but I think that this other person, that we kind of have similar audiences. And so I was like, yeah, 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 but I wasn't sleeping at night. And I got the agreement and I just never signed it. Right. So they kept asking, hey, Rochelle, what's up with the agreement? Are we good? Are we whatever? And I looked at the agreement and I'm like, there's a lot of stuff about this agreement that 30-year-old me would have said, hell yeah, let's do it. I can rock it out. Nothing lasts forever. Let's just do it. But 50 something me says, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Right. And all I could think about was my favorite movie from Diane Keaton. And that's why I told you this whole story. Right? And it's called Baby Boom. So if you haven't seen the movie, please go rent it. It's probably on Amazon Prime now, Netflix. I know it's somewhere. Badass woman in corporate America. Her cousin dies and leaves her this baby. And now she becomes a mom, first time mom. She's like, what in the world? Like, this is crazy. And she decides that they decide that they let her go because they said, you're not the tiger woman like you were with us before. And things are just different. And, you're not working as much. And she's like, I know, because I got a baby. Like, what are you talking about? So she takes her life savings and she buys this mansion in Connecticut or Vermont. And it is an old country farm that she always dreamed of, after living in New York. And, oh, this is great. Well, it turns out to be a money pit, right? It's like, it needs so much work. And she just barrels through her retirement and all of this. And she's like, what in the world have I done? And it's just her and this baby. And she goes out to she has apple orchards and she makes some baby food. And of course, she knows how to kind of brand it because that's what she did. And she went to the local stores because she's got all of this baby food, more than the baby could eat. And the local store decided to pick it up. Well, the folks from New York come in. And even if you want to see the movie, it's just important, right? So they come in and they see this and they go, oh my God, how cute. And they start buying it. And then they start buying it mail order. And all of a sudden she's back, right? She's got all of these sales, and the food king, which was her former client, wants to buy her out and have her come in and go back into corporate. And so she goes in the bathroom and she's like, okay, I'm back. I've made it. And I think I was saying the same thing, when I got the agreement. I'm back. I've made it. This is exactly what I wanted. This is going to catapult my business. And right when it was time to sign the agreement, she didn't. And she said, if Country Baby, if King, if grocery giant can put Country Baby on every shelf in America, so can I. So I'm not going to take your deal. And so she gave the deal back. And she walked out with not only her dignity, but just, what? This life that I've created is way more important than going back and, number one, being accepted by my peers. And number two, being back in that rat race. Like, I don't like that life anymore. I love my life now with my baby and her new boyfriend. Spoiler alert. Why did I love this movie? And I said the same thing, if 3 people listen to my podcast, it's okay. I don't need to have 100 million. I just want to share with you what I know. And I said no to the deal. They've come back consequently, of course, and said, well, at the end of the day, we just want you and sorry. And we didn't mean for it to be like that. And we didn't want to offend you. Right. But it is. So the most important lesson that I want you to know from Country Baby and from Baby Boom and from me being offered the same thing is that you can create the life you want and you get to decide how you want to live it and how you want to build it. And doing it for the money is never a good reason, right? You need to have a bigger why. Because once you have a bigger why, then the world becomes open to you. All right, so let's get into our MDE lesson. We'll be right back with the FU, the FU part, and your assignment for this week, because I know that you are moving closer to your goals by implementing those assignments. And then, of course, my message to Devin. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey, MD Nation. Can't get enough? Can't get enough? Hey, I've got another free training that I'd love for you to see. How to add another million this year. You can watch it for free by going to www.627figures.com. The number 6, T-O, the number 7, figures.com. You will see the 3 easiest things you can do in your business right now to get to the million faster. It's my favorite thing to do is to teach and train, so you can go and hang out, have some fun, and learn some stuff from me. Go to 627figures.com.
Hey, okay, we're back for our MDE lesson today, that FU. So if you've ever heard me speak in person, or if you heard some old videos, I love to use colorful language. And only because it kind of gets to the point of it. Sometimes, a good FU, makes things a little better for you. I found that especially as a single woman, youngest person in the room, it allowed them to understand that I was serious about what I was doing. No matter how serious I said I was and how direct I was, a good FU kind of wrapped things up, right? But the FU that I'm talking about in the $1 million equation is follow up, right? So it's a key piece of building your $1 million business, whether you are following up online, offline, from meeting somebody in person, all the way over to your website. You need to have a follow-up system. So I like to have an automated follow-up system, right? So just so you know, only 9% of people who go to your website actually buy from you on that first encounter. And that's if you're doing everything hyper right? It goes down to like less than 1% if you don't have an efficient website, if you don't have things above the fold to get them to take action, if it's not exactly what they're looking for, which is why I tell everybody before you start running ads, you need to look at those numbers, right? Whether you're running radio, television, or Google ads or Facebook ads, whatever it is, before you run any ads, you need to make sure that you have a converting website and that it gets them to what you want to do, so that at least you can make some money as you go into the FU part, into the follow-up part, right? So at the very least, your website needs to have some type of data capture, right? And by the way, nobody in the world loves me. Nobody wants to sign up for your free newsletter. Nobody wants to sign up for your free tips. Nobody wants to sign up for that. Get rid of that. Cancel it. Take it off. Get rid of that. Mine says, hey, do you want a free copy of my 9 steps to building $1 million business? They go, yeah, I want a free copy of that. What are the 9 steps? What is it? And guess what? At that point, we get to exchange it, right? I think I talked to you a couple of days ago about my friend Becky, who had her free be on her website, and hers was download a free coupon for a free appetizer. So she owned Eat at Nakama, and it was a Japanese steakhouse, just like Benihana's. And killed it, had 33,000 on her list, right? That's what they want to give you their email for. They don't want free tips. They don't want a newsletter. They don't want your newsletter. They don't want it. So nobody signs up for it. And then because only 3 people on your list, you aren't consistent and you don't send them information, or you only send them information when you want to make money. So then you do that stupid booty call marketing. You only show up to get paid, like a booty call, right? He only shows up to get laid. Like, stop it. Don't do that. You want to give them something that they would be dying for. So even if you have a health and wellness, right? My 4 favorite foods that keeps my stomach flat. I'm getting that, right? Getting that. Even if the 4 foods are water, yes, vegetables, you know what I'm saying? It gets them in, and it gets them in the right mind frame to understand what you want. I love to have an automated sequence that goes on after they enter that. So now we are talking to them about what's next, right? To moving them closer to buying instead of just hitting them over the head. Yeah. Even if you're not doing that online, right? Offline, here's what I noticed. So I'll go to a networking, which is not my favorite thing to do. Right? But I will go, or just meeting somebody at a Super Bowl party, right? And they go, "Oh my gosh, what do you do?" I say, "Oh, I help build $1 million businesses." And they go, "Oh my gosh, we need to talk." Okay, do you have a card? Give me your contact name. I have to talk, right? And so I'll go, "All right," and it'll be 2 weeks later, and I'll say, "Never heard from them," right? Because they just don't follow up. So here's your tip of the day, right? Here's your tip of the day is I like to pre-write the emails before I go to the networking event. Yeah, right? Just pre-write them so that when you get back, you're not sitting there, because this is what you do. Okay, you go to the networking, you get all the business cards, and you come back and you sit there and you go, "Oh, okay. Ooh, who is this? I don't remember her. I don't know. Oh, this guy was nice. I'm going to send something to him." But you talk to 30 people. Why wouldn't you send it to all 30 people and say, "Hey, great to meet you"? That's how you build a list. That's how you build a rapport. That's how you build a camaraderie from folks getting to know you and understanding who you are, right? That's what you want to do. So you want to not get as many cards as you want. Get as many cards as the people who are interested in what you do. Yeah. So I don't want people who are just startups, right? Because those aren't my ideal clients. I want folks who are already further down the journey. Yeah. Folks who already have customers, because ultimately that's where I'm at my best, is where I can just, turn a couple of things and you get to make a couple of extra million. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I can't help startups. It's just not my favorite thing to do, because a lot of times in startups, I always say that the startup person in a startup business is kind of like a girl with their first boyfriend. You are not going to marry that dude. You're not. And your business is going to take twists and turns, and it's not going to look like you first designed it, because on a piece of paper, everything is perfect. In the relationship, everything ain't perfect, right? It goes through ebbs and flows. So my sister, who's been married to her high school sweetheart for 42 years, okay, yeah, all right, that works. But she's definitely an anomaly. That doesn't happen all the time, and that doesn't happen. So that's why with startups, I want you to kind of get your footing first. Like, know what you want to do, know where you want to go, so I can kind of guide you and direct you. All right, so with the follow-up, right, you need to know who it is that you're going to be talking to. And I always like to interject where I met them. So the email is, "Hey, Ben, it was great to meet you at the Villa Chamber event. Sounds like you've got a really interesting business and story. Can't wait to learn more about you. If you want to have coffee sometime, let me know. Done. My treat. Talk to you soon, Richelle. So I just write that up. Yeah. Write that up. I'm not sending them, go check out my website. Nobody wants to go check out your website. Like, nobody's impressed by that. You're the only person impressed by your website. Nobody wants to do that. If they want to check you out, they're going to Google you first. They're not just going to go to where everybody says great things about you. They want to know the secrets. They want to know why they shouldn't buy from you. They want to know what is that foolishness that you did, on Facebook that you're posting you in a funky picture. Right? That's what they want to see. So don't do that in your follow-up, but you need to have a follow-up system so that now you can follow up with them. And it's not just the people who are super nice to you, right? It's the people who you can actually honestly help. And so you want to follow up with everybody. Yes. All right. And on your website, online, offline, if you meet them in person, belly to belly, that's what I say, belly to belly, or if you're doing direct mail, or if they've come to your website, come to your store, right? How do you follow up with them? Well, you need to get their contact information. Hi, we have a wonderful giveaway of a $500 gift card. Did you want to put your business card in? So I'm always shocked when I go into like a coffee house or something and they have this fishbowl and they say, put your card in there, and it's packed. It's like, okay, so when do you empty that out and like get the names? Like, when do you do that? Or you pick one winner, you throw them all away? No, you use them all. And my favorite thing to do is, I'll tell you that in another episode of what I do with that fishbowl that turns it on its head and gives you more money than you could ever imagine. But today, we're just going to talk about follow-up, but there's so many ways. So, let's just go right into your assignment today. Yes? All right, y'all. Your assignment for this week is create a follow-up sequence for your website. Create, something that interacts with them. Create your free giveaway, something that's going to make them say, yes, I can't wait to get on your list. And then follow up with them after that. Hey, a simple is, hey, did you have a chance to read the item that I created or watch the video? Hey, have you used your coupon yet? Right? Do you want another one? This will get them to come back more often. Remember, we talked about the 3 ways to grow, right? So that now you have a fully designed follow-up system and not just a regular system. Of course, that with the $1 Million Equation, with our program that we have, if you need some help on what that needs to do, that is one of the key pieces, the key pillars that we work on in the $1 Million Equation coaching program. So I would love to help you do that. But, the simple list, the better, right? Something that you will do consistently. Don't have it all complicated, because I'm going to tell you, that's going to be a deterrent to you being consistent. Just do something that's super easy. I used to love to just do handwritten thank you cards, right? I just pick up, handwrite. It's how I got a lot of the doctors, is handwritten thank you cards. Hey, it was great to meet you. I even had a hospital that I got from a handwritten thank you card. I understood that they were doing lots of fundraising. I went to the fundraising event. I had some ideas of how they could do it better and got the meeting by sending a handwritten thank you card. Hey, it was great to meet you the other night. I realized that things were super busy and we didn't get a chance to talk. My name is Richelle Shaw, and I help businesses grow to past $1 million. And I have the book, The $1 Million Equation. I'd love to kind of help y'all raise some money. You can call me at, and guess what happened? Hell yeah. Yes. So the follow-up works, but you have to be proactive in your follow-up. It can't just be anything willy-nilly, oh, I should follow up with them when I need money. No, you want to do it as soon as possible. You want to be consistent with it. And I always say have like a tickler file, right? And every 30 days you follow up with the same people so that now your list is just building, because it's not your present day money, right? But it's the future money that actually keeps a sustainable business. All right. So, hopefully you are doing your follow-up. You've done the other ones from the other episodes. And if good things are happening in your business, send me a note. Let me know what the good stuff is. If you have any questions, also, you can go and send me some stuff about that. If you just want me to answer them, I would love to. And by the way, we'll be right back with my message to Devin today. Thanks.
Hey, MDE Nation, I have some openings to work with me and my team on building your own $1 million business. Or if you already have the $1 million business, you want to add another 2 or 10. Hey, let's spend some time together. The easiest, fastest way is to make sure it's a good fit is to go check out my free training, how to add another $1 million to your business this year, right? You can go grab it for free by going to www.627figures.com. The number 6, number 7, figures.com. You will see the 3 easiest things you can do in your business right now to get to the $1 million faster, and see kind of how my brain works and how we actually work with our private clients. I'm excited to help you add that extra $1 million to your bottom line. Let's have some fun.
Hey there, hey there, hey there. I'm back for, my favorite segment. And this is the love of my life, Devin. I just always want to make sure that no matter what, like 10 years from now, that she can go back and hear these messages and really create the life that she wants. I know that teenage years are kind of crazy, but so are, the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s, right? Like they're all crazy. And so we always have to have our mental armor there. And so my message to Devin is no matter how young you are, no matter how old you are, you can create the life of your dreams. You really can. I think that people get stuck with doing what other people think that they should do. So just this week, so one of the things is that my kid was a phenomenal volleyball player, right? I know I'm her mom, right? But I am also a huge sports fan, and I know basics. And one of the things that was really good is that she was a smart player. Like she knew where to stand, like she wasn't in the way. She was always, great at her passing was great. And then she was an outside hitter. I know she's 5'3", but she's great at an outside hitter. And so I just got so much pleasure from watching her play, and heart attacks too of the championship games. But just even when she was on losing teams, I just loved watching her play. And she decided about 1.5 years ago that she didn't want to play anymore. And I was devastated. Like I was devastated. And finally, a couple days ago, we went to see family, and they kept asking about volleyball, and they kept asking about it, right? And she was like, yeah, next year I'm going to play. Next year I'm going to play. And I finally had to tell her in the car, hey, Dev, don't do this for me, right? Don't do this for them. I'll support whatever you want to do. I'll support whatever you want to do. And so if I'm ever not here, or if you're ever thinking about, or if I'm putting too much pressure on you, I hope you watch this episode, Dev, and know that no matter what you choose, I'm going to support you. I love you for free. I love you unconditionally. I'm your backbone, and you get to choose the life that you want to choose. And I hope that all of my listeners and watchers and subscribers know that the reason why I say that I'm back in this episode. Because if you are just finding me, I was in a dark place. I was in a dark place for a couple years. I felt like a child star. I felt like I had peaked. I felt like that there wasn't anything new for me. And I had made millions, lost millions. I had helped other people make millions who didn't acknowledge that I helped them make millions, right? And I kept needing everything from the outside. And I spent these last 2 years working on the inside, working on creating the life that I truly wanted to live. And you will laugh in that life. There's no house cleaning. You know what I mean? There's hardly any cooking. It's like, but I felt guilty for those things. Like people would make me feel guilty for, oh well, how come you got a housekeeper? You got this. Yeah. Wow, you guys eat out a lot. Yes, because I love to be served. And you get to live the life that you want. You. Nobody gets to tell you what to do with your money, with your thoughts, with your ideas, with your time, with your energy, who you do it with. Nobody gets to require. And if it isn't what you want, then stop it. I used to think that was a curse, that I'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. People say, she's so flaky. I'm like, but I'm happy. And you're at a job that you've been at for 30 years that you hate, that you can't wait till retirement so you could finally do what you want to. But I've spent the last 30 years doing exactly what I want to every single day. Even when I had her, I was with her every single day. And now I get to spend every single day. I only have 2 more summers with her. And I created that life. I created that specific life. Now, did it have consequences? Absolutely. So I'm not saying that being a rebel and doing exactly what you want to do does not create consequences. It does. It does. But I'm willing to deal with the consequences so that I could have the life that I want, so that I could have the people that I want in my life, and so that I can live exactly how I want to live. So if you are not living the way that you want to live, make a commitment that this is the last year that you ever do that again. Make a commitment, because your life can totally change in 1 year. In 1 year, your life can totally change, which is why I give you an assignment every week, right? So that at the end of that 1 year, your business will be totally different than it looks right now. Even if you never invest a nickel with me and only just watch this free podcast, if you just follow exactly what I tell you to do, I promise you, your business will look totally, totally different in 1 year. But commit to yourself, give yourself that 1 year to change your life. 1 year. Love you enough to change whatever the hell it is that you don't like. All right, y'all. I love you for free. Devin, I love you forever. And I can't wait to see all the amazing things that you are going to do. You are here for greatness, as well as all of you guys that are watching and that are listening. If nobody told you today, you are here for greatness. You are here to do bigger things. And that's what had me all discombobulated, is that I knew I was here to do other things, but I kept getting caught up and seduced by the money, seduced by, hey, I'm going to give you this if you just give up a little bit of yourself. And every time I was giving up a little bit of myself, listening to folks who told me that, I needed to wear high heels to speak on stages, instead of, how about I just wear my flip-flops? Great. And I can't, those voices from other people, as well as those voices that are in between these 6 inches, that tell us that we're not good enough. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're good enough. That you're good enough. That your results are not an indication of how good you are, right? Your results are an indication of how far you veered off of the bullshit that people have told you. Oof, that's a writer downer. Your results are a result of how you veered off the bullshit that people have told you. But that doesn't mean that you are not worthy, that you are not excellent, that you are not smart, that you are not fabulous, that you are not fantastic, that you are not the baddest dude on the planet or the baddest chick on the planet, right? So let's get after it. Let's go get it. All right, I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for just supporting this movement of love, right? And of building businesses in a loving, caring, and consistent way. All right. It's my honor to serve. I'll see you next week. See you later. Bye-bye.